Hi and welcome to Sci-Fi Fans. I'm your host Wayne, and in this live stream this week, the topic is going to be the most underrated sci-fi film. Now, as you can see, if you're watching me on YouTube, because I am streaming on TikTok as well, I think that one of the most underrated sci-fi films is Pitch Black. Pitch Black was released in 2000 and stars Vin Diesel. The movie it's got a great fan base now, and this is like a cult following that it's developed over the years. It's not typically considered a highly rated or critically acclaimed film, but it has gone on to spawn two other movies. Incidentally, I think the sequel, Chronicles of Riddick, is even less underrated or more underrated than the original, which we can talk about in a sec. So there could have been several reasons why Pitch Black is not critically well received. Could be the genre. Pitch Black falls into the science fiction horror genre, and that's a little bit of a niche market and might not appeal to the broader audience. It never really had mainstream appeal, but it did introduce us to Vin Diesel, and it kind of really catapulted his career, because after Pitch Black, shortly after that, he'd done the Fast films and Triple X. They were some of his earlier films as well. With a limited budget, the movie was made virtually for peanuts, and that limited the special effects and stuff. It's interesting to note, though, that the script for Pitch Black was originally going to be used for Alien 3. And for whatever reason, they turned down this script, but the writer felt he had something good and he nurtured it into what we had with Pitch Black. So, what's your most underrated sci-fi film? Let me know in the comments and we can talk about it. So, with this being one of Vin Diesel's early films, I think it's probably one of those cases where they said to him, "Look, we've got this role in a sci-fi movie. Give it a whirl, and see what happens." It is one of his favourite films because he actually put his house on the market. Well, he didn't put it on the market, but he remortgaged his home to make the third film, which was just quite simply called Riddick. So who knows? For me, really, really love Pitch Black, and going to be got a little bit of trivia. Have we got trivia for?
Did you know that they're making a fourth?
I did.
And did you know the title of the fourth?
It's something about the Underverse.
It's Riddick Furia.
Yeah, and then the fifth film is something about the Underverse.
They haven't started making the fifth film yet.
Have they started making the...
No. Vin Diesel is set to return on the fourth film in the Riddick franchise, titled Riddick Furia.
Yeah.
And that was posted in February 2023. So
Right.
It is something that they're
starting to film it. Now, I do know that they were going to... What Vin Diesel wanted to do was finish off the Fast 10 series of films. And I thought Fast 10 was going to be the last one. The Oracle is going to correct me here. Is there going to be another Fast and Furious film?
Let me just check for you.
Yeah. So... Okay, someone thinks that I've stolen Postman Pat or something, but it wasn't me.
Okay.
So, is there going to be another Fast and Furious film?
I don't know.
See,
yet.
I met Katie Sackhoff last year at a Comic Con, and she's actually in the third film in the franchise. And I did ask her if her character would return to the franchise, and she said she wasn't sure. Now, if you've seen Riddick, they don't kill off her character. So there is scope for her to return to the franchise, and I hope that she does, because she's kind of nailed it in Star Wars with Bo-Katan. And I think if they do make the fourth, well, they are making the fourth, hopefully, then she's going to be in that, and it's going to be really cool. It is... Okay, then.
Right. Vin Diesel's confirmed in early June 2023 that the follow-up to Fast 10 will be arriving in cinemas in April 2025.
Okay then. So we've got another Fast and Furious film, and that will be the last one, I believe. Fast 11, because, as I say, I'm sure he wanted to finish the franchise off with Fast 10.
Although,
Yeah.
it won't be the next Fast and Furious movie we see, as Dwayne Johnson, Hobbit, is getting a solo movie before then.
All right, because they did do Hobbs and Shaw, I think, didn't they, as another spin-off from
I don't know.
Fast and Furious franchise?
I don't know.
All right. Sorry, back to Pitch Black. The marketing campaign for the film wasn't as aggressive or effective as it could have been, so the film had limited exposure. So if you haven't seen Pitch Black, it's one of those that I would recommend that you do go and see. I think it's got a tight script, the cast and that are really good, and it does have a little bit of a twist at the end. I won't give that away just in case you want to go and see it. And then moving on to the sequel, which was Chronicles of Riddick. I think Chronicles of Riddick was pretty much misunderstood because it came out as the sequel to Pitch Black and took the franchise off into a totally different direction, which was really cool because you got to see Riddick in a different setting and different aliens as well. And they really did build on the universe. I thought it was a worthy sequel. Now, for me, the best sequel ever is Aliens, but if you watch the Pitch Black franchise of films, I think they've got a tidy trilogy. The third film has its critics saying that they've just kind of made two films. They've made the first two films into one and labelled it as the third film in the franchise, which is it's a fair criticism, but it is a good film in its own right. And I've been lucky enough to see all of the Pitch Black films at the cinema, haven't we?
Yes, we have.
Yeah, we have. So, let me know what you feel is the most underrated sci-fi film of all time. Is there a sci-fi film that you just don't get? For example, I think a lot of people struggle with 2001. That's not a film that I have seen, to be honest. Haven't seen 2001 or 2010. I have seen Close Encounters for the Third Kind, but that was a very long time ago. So, what is your underrated film? Over to you.
I'm just having a quick look now, actually.
Yeah, what's your personal?
Personally,
what film do you? We'll make it a broader spectrum. What film do you think does not get enough credit? I mean, I've got another one off the top of my head, and it's totally random here, but Strictly Ballroom. I think that's an underrated film. Now everyone goes on about Dirty Dancing, but for me, it's Strictly Ballroom. It's just got humour. It's a similar kind of storyline. You got dancers that want to do a specific dance at a concert or show competition, and there's a lot of criticism for the style that they want to use. But okay, but for me, Strictly Ballroom's really is. There's just something about it. It's an Australian production. It started off originally as a movie, and then they put it onto a stage production. And we went to see it on the live stage production. And reading through the actual brochure, the writer created it to be put on the stage, but they didn't have the money or finances for whatever reason, and it ended up going on to become a film. So they done it the other way around. He intended it to be a West End show, for example, but it became a movie. So that was really enjoyable. It wasn't on for long enough, I didn't think. It had a very limited run in the West End, and we were lucky enough to go and see it.
I think the film Serenity was a little bit
right. Oh yeah, Serenity is as in the follow-up from Firefly.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that is possibly worthy of an underrated film. The TV show it's kind of like Pitch Black. It's got that cult following, but with the TV show, they didn't air the episodes in the correct order, so the story wasn't particularly easy to follow. Then that obviously affected the ratings, but that's certainly got a cult following. and Jill Stati got lucky enough to meet her at Comic Con as well.
The other film that I think is very underrated, but I think that's because it got banned rather than
Right.
anything else, is The Outsiders.
Yes. Is it underrated, or is it just a film that has kind of gone under the radar because it is an early 80s film?
It is, but now this is going back a few years because obviously we're not as young as we used to be. But
I know what you mean.
But when I was at school,
Thank you for the follow.
We had the book Outsiders.
Yeah.
And we were reading the book Outsiders in school.
Right.
Now, it just seems a little bit...
No one talks about The Outsiders, do they?
Especially with the stars in it.
Have you got the cast list in front of you?
I'm just going through it now.
We'll go through the cast list of The Outsiders, and trust me, if you don't know of the film, you will be blown away by the cast that is in this. What year did it come out? 1984. It's based on a book.
No, 1983, so very close.
Yeah, I was going to say 1982.
Right, okay, so I'll go to the ones that are more well-known.
If you go to the IMDb...
I am on that. Okay.
So the Oracle has to do her job.
C. Thomas Holwell.
Right.
Matt Dillon.
Yep.
Ralph Macchino.
He is...
Karate Kid.
Karate Kid, there you go.
Patrick Swayze.
Yeah.
Rob Lowe. Emilio Estevez.
Yep.
Tom Cruise. They're the main characters.
Cast. Now, obviously, you struggle to put that cast together because we've lost Patrick Swayze. Who else have we lost? Anybody else on that list?
I don't think so.
But could you imagine if Patrick Swayze was still around now? Could you imagine putting that cast together today, and the budget of that film would be probably half a £500 million just in wages?
Yeah,
really. They'd have to do it for love, wouldn't they?
They would,
to be honest.
Because I think this is the film that's actually made quite a few of them.
And the strange thing with The Outsiders is you don't get like a reunion with them. There's been so many films over the years where they've had a massive reunion. Even.
I think that's because it got banned, didn't it?
But I'm not sure. Did it get banned? You say that. Now you can't. Yes, Darcy, I depolish it. Baldy polish, best thing that you can get. Thank you, Darcy. Was it? No, you can't get it on You can't really get it on DVD, can you?
No.
We managed to get it on DVD when we was on our travels, so we kind of just brought it into the country. I don't know if we're allowed to. We're not allowed to. Don't know. And I'm surprised it was banned because it was used as part of the national curriculum. I mean, I remember watching it as a kid, and you remember watching it when you was at school, and they've done you'd have to write essays and stuff on it. Yeah. So I am surprised that it's banned. That doesn't seem true. We've stumped the Oracle. Was there ever a sequel? I know they didn't make a film sequel, but was the book? Did they ever put a book?
No, I don't think they did.
Hi, Aries. How you doing? So yeah, that's another film. If you get the opportunity to watch The Outsiders, do, because it is, as I say, it's got a real star-studded cast. Still got the same opinion on Grease. That's fair enough. Okay, then, is Grease 2 underrated?
Grease 2 should never have been made.
Yeah, but is it underrated? I mean, it's got Michelle Pfeiffer in it for a start. Can't remember any of the other cast members, but just Michelle Pfeiffer for some reason.
I wonder why you can remember her then.
Well, I wonder why I can remember her. So I'll just type that one in here. See what comes up. So my version is quicker than your version.
Probably.
You haven't seen Grease 2? Oh.
Well done. Don't do it.
Yeah, they've done a sequel to Grease. Now, there is an interesting theory with the first film, Grease. And are you going to find any info on Grease 2, cast, maybe?
I can try, because
Okay.
The Outsiders
Right.
is very hard.
Well, you find a little bit more info on Grease 2, which could be an underrated sequel. The most underrated sequel of all time. The theory with Grease goes along the lines that Danny and... What's the girl's name?
Sandy.
Danny and Sandy actually drown on the beach. And what you actually see in Greece is kind of like their little afterlife party kind of thing, which is, and it does tie in, which is, so the reason why they say this is because at the very end of the film, they get in the car and the car gets off the ground and starts flying. And that is supposed to be an interpretation of the two lovebirds going off to heaven after completing their story after drowning on the beach.
Right, what do you want to know about Grease 2?
Cast, Michelle Pfeiffer.
Well, we know that.
Yeah. Who else?
Right.
Johnny Depp.
Shush up. Maxwell Caulfield.
Who?
Exactly. Maxwell. I can't even speak.
Played for Atkinson Stanley.
Caulfield, his name is.
Yeah.
He was the main male character.
Okay.
Then you had Michelle Pfeiffer.
Yep. Told you, Michelle Pfeiffer.
You had Frenchie in it as well, who was in the first film.
Right.
Diddy Con, her
she was
name is.
briefly, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, Riz, that is it's like one of these really outlandish fan theories with regards to Grease, which is why they never made a sequel. Again, because at the end of the film, allegedly they're going up to heaven.
I have to say, I've not heard that one.
Yeah, but I've got a mind full of absolute junk when it comes to movies and trivia.
We know.
You know?
I live with you, I know. Just to annoy my daughter, I might make her watch Grease 2 tomorrow.
In Grease?
No, I tried to get her to watch the first one. She wasn't too sure.
Okay, right. Oh, bit of a controversial one here. Blade Runner 2049, is that underrated?
Haven't even heard of it.
You haven't heard of it?
No.
It came out in 2017, directed by Ridley Scott. It has Dave Bautista in it as well, and Ryan Gosling, I think, is the lead guy. I tried to watch it, and it also has Anya Amis, the Bond girl from the recent Bond film. I tried to get into it, and I sat down, watched. About 20 minutes later, I switched it off because I was a bit too bored. So perhaps it's not necessarily underrated, it's just not that good. But what do you think? Do you enjoy Blade 2049? Right. I mean, would you class The Shawshank Redemption as an underrated movie?
Right,
That's
hang
come
on.
up on my list.
Right, Outsiders.
Yeah, here we go.
The book has been banned from schools and libraries because of the portrayal of gang violence, underage smoking and drinking, strong language / slang, and family dysfunctions. However, in many US schools, the book is part of the English curriculum at the middle or higher school level.
Right. Okay.
So I think that is why The Outsiders film was banned, because of the controversy
Right.
over that.
Yeah.
And that's why they stopped producing it.
So we were probably quite lucky to get a copy of it on DVD.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've still got it, but I think I also had the book as well.
Yeah, I think we've got the book somewhere.
The Outsiders was quite good there.
Yeah, I mean, if you can, it sounds like you might struggle to get a copy of this, but if you can get a copy of The Outsiders, whether it be a film. All right, and Riz, thanks for joining. See you next Friday. Yeah, if you can get a copy of the DVD, watch it. It really isn't that bad a film, is it? And
no, I mean, seen worse.
Yeah, I mean, there's also like a tale of redemption as well within the film. You've got this. There's so many story arcs in it with real quality actors portraying the characters. Give it a go. Give it a go. So on my underrated movies of all time, I have The Iron Giant at number one. And this is an animated science fiction film that didn't receive much attention, or didn't receive the attention that it deserved upon release. And I remember the Iron Man story again as a kid, and I loved it. Absolutely loved it. The Iron Giant, sorry, not the Iron Man. Yeah. Iron Giant.
Did you know who played the Iron Giant? We've spoken about him tonight already.
It wasn't Vin Diesel.
It was.
Oh, yeah, well, okay. All right. Vin Diesel. I knew that.
This is quite worrying that a couple of the underrated films are all his, and it's like,
Well, yeah. I suppose even the Fast and Furious films probably come under that eventually.
Maybe.
So yeah, the story of the Iron Giant is over to you. Oh, you looked up
the Iron Man.
Iron Man, yeah. Like the Iron Giant.
Yeah, but it's based on the book called The Iron Man.
Nah, I knew there was an Iron Man in there somewhere.
A children's story in 5 nights is a 1968 science fiction novel by British poet Loretta Ted Hughes.
Right.
First published by Faber and Faber in the UK,
right.
with illustrations by George Adamson.
Right. See, that's probably why I remember the Iron Man, because we'd done it at school. And I'm sorry to say, I haven't actually seen the Iron Giant.
Nor have I.
1999 version. But the story of it it's just heartwarming. Really. They don't do stories like that anymore. So come on, give us a story.
I'm just trying
to the plot synopsis.
I'm just trying to find the plot synopsis.
Please. Well, while you're finding that, I'll just talk about number 2, which is Children of Men in 2006. Now, if that's the film that I'm thinking of, then yeah, I think it was a little bit controversial, because Children of Men is... Or do you want to talk about the Iron Giant?
I've got the Iron Giant.
We'll talk about the Iron Giant then.
In this animated adaptation of Ted Hughes' Cold War fable, a giant alien robot, Vin Diesel, crash lands near the small town of Rockwell, Maine in 1957. Right. Exploring the area, a local 9-year-old boy, Hogarth, discovers the robot and soon forms an unlikely friendship with him.
Right.
And that is the plot of the story.
Yeah. Okay, we're going to sit down and watch that, because the ending of it is quite heartwarming. Because from what I can remember of the book, you've got the Iron Giant that's come down, but then also I think this dragon creature comes down as well, and then they have some sort of face-off at the end. And the Iron Giant sacrifices himself by flying into the sun. I might have that totally wrong, but that's what I remember as a child. And to be honest, I've always wanted to see the film, but I've just never got round to it. Have you looked up Children of Men? I've
got the stars here.
2006.
Yes, you've got Clive Owen as Theo Faron.
Right.
You've got Julia Ann Moore as Gillian.
Yeah.
You've got Michael Caine as Jasper Palmer.
Yeah, that sounds like the one that I'm thinking of.
You've got Claire Hope Ashlyn as
Synopsis.
Kate. I'm just about to get the plot for you now.
Then thank you. Because she does take her time.
I'm ill. Leave me alone.
I've just got to say thank you for joining me, actually.
When infertility threatens mankind with extinction and the last child born has perished, a disillusioned bureaucrat, Clive Owen, becomes an unlikely champion in the fight for survival of the Earth's population.
Right.
He must face down his own demons and protect the planet's last remaining hope for danger.
Right, so it's the film I'm thinking of where humanity can't have kids for some reason. Never really explained. The UK is kind of treated like a prison because it's based in England. That's where you get Michael Caine from. Thought-provoking dystopian science fiction film that gained a cult following but was somewhat overlooked at the box office. Is that a fair statement? I think it has probably attracted a cult following, but you and I have both seen this film, so do you think it deserved to be a hit, or the cult following?
It was okay. I wouldn't say it was anything to write home about. It was okay.
I would agree. I agree with that. What got me about it was the totalitarian system of government that they seem to have within the UK. Now, in 2006, to be totally honest, I was very dismissive of that. However, here we are 17 years down the line, and I can actually see that happening, which is scary. So we've got Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind in 2004.
Okay, and that has...
Or The Shawshank Redemption in 1994.
No, the Shawshank Redemption, you can't say is an underrated film.
You don't think it's underrated?
I think that it was quite well known, Wayne. A lot of people are aware of it, whereas the other films, not as many people are aware of it.
Yeah, no, I'll take that on board, but it's on my top 10.
Yeah.
I've done a special search. You've done a special search.
So anyway, the other one, the Eternal Sunshine.
Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, 2004. So right, that'd be nearly 20 years ago.
That stars Jim Carrey.
Right.
Kate Winslet.
Right.
Charlie Kaufman.
Yeah.
Kirsten Dunst.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Elijah Wood.
Right.
And Mark Ruffalo.
So it's got quite a star-studded cast there. And you wouldn't normally associate them actors with a bit of a dud.
And the plot for that.
Yeah.
After a painful breakup, Clementine, Kate Winslet, undergoes a process to erase memories from her former boyfriend, Joel, Jim Carrey, from her mind. When Joel discovers that Clementine is going to extremes to forget their relationship, he undergoes the same procedure and slowly begins to forget the woman that he loved. Directed by former music video director Michael Gondry, the visually arresting film explores the intricacy of relationships and the pain of loss.
Okay. So going by that synopsis, is that a film that you'd say to me, come on, let's get that in, let's have a DVD? No. Me neither. Right. So we have got a couple of others on here, and then I'm just going to regenerate the list. Moon, 2009, a low-budget sci-fi film with a strong performance by Sam Rockwell, which didn't receive the attention it deserved upon its release. That's what I've got.
Okay, so with this film, we've got Sam Rockwell, Kevin Spacey,
right,
Dominique McElligott, Benedict Wong,
right,
Rosie Shaw, and Kaya Scoladero.
Right.
They're the
that's the cast.
Yep.
So what's the story of it?
Okay.
Have we missed out on it, basically?
I'll let you know.
Okay.
Astronaut Sam Rockwell, 3-year shift at a lunar mine is finally coming to an end, and he's looking forward to his reunion with his wife, Dominique McKellicott. I can't pronounce her name yet, and young daughter.
Yeah.
Suddenly, Sam's health takes a drastic turn for the worse. He suffers painful headaches and hallucinations, and almost has a fatal accident. He meets what appears to be a younger version of himself, possibly a clone. With time running out, Sam must solve the mystery before the company crew arrives.
Would you give that a go?
Possibly.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Okay.
I mean,
so we might have to stick that on the.
Yeah, I mean, if that one to me, it might be a nice film to watch. It's not like some of the other films we've seen, and I've just thought, just turn it off.
What's the worst film?
Barbie.
Okay.
I can't get my 2 hours back.
I didn't even get to finish the sentence.
You didn't have to.
I was going to say, what's the worst film that you and I have seen?
Oh, okay. I think I should.
I escaped Barbie.
Yeah.
It was a girly night out, and I escaped it.
Yeah. I wish I had as well.
I think I got to do some more YouTube stuff.
Although to be fair, when everyone else dressed up in pink, I went in black
for a funeral.
Well, believe it or not, that's what I felt like I was going to.
Right.
And I'm sorry. I know that there's lots of people out there that like Barbie, but it just didn't do it for me.
No. Just seeing Primer. The Fifth Element. Oh. I would not class The Fifth Element as an underrated film.
No, I wouldn't.
Do you like The Fifth Element?
I didn't mind it.
Oh, we're going to have to watch that again. We have to watch that again, definitely. Yeah, what's that? Okay then. So we both agree that The Fifth Element is not an underrated film.
No.
But did it do well at the box office? Because a lot of these films, you see them on home video, going back a few years, home video, or on Sky or something. Bit 4. Hi. The reason why I've turned off gifts is quite simply I don't want them. Now, right. I do the videos the way that I want people to support the vid. I'll start again. The way that I want people to support the channel is just simply to watch the videos, comment, like, and share. Gifts cost real money, and we're in the middle of a cost of living crisis. And basically, I'd rather you done that than gave me gifts. Gifts are flattering, but when I remember, I switch it off as an option because they're not essential. Your company, your time, just being here is enough. Okay. But thank you for asking.
Right.
Thank you.
Fifth Element at the box office did $263.9 million US.
Right, but what was its budget then? So it's took $250 million, and that would have been when was it? 1990s film.
Hang on a minute, I'll let you know this.
Okay.
And the budget was $90 million US.
90 million, so it doubled its budget.
Yeah. Release date was 1997.
1997. So, all right, it possibly didn't make a budget if you add another 40 or 50 million on for promotion. But then, was it well promoted? Was it well received?
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean that's always the thing, isn't it? Some of these films, like Fifth Element, has surprised me as being one of those that's underrated. But then they obviously might not have spent the budget. No. So, Equilibrium. I haven't seen that, but I've heard good things about Equilibrium. 2002, a dystopian science fiction film directed by Kurt Wimmer, known for its intense action sequences and exploration of emotion in a totalitarian. We'll say it. Totalitarian. Yeah, you say it. Society. Right,
and 4 actors. We've got Christopher Bale. Christian Bale. Sorry.
Yeah. Batman.
Emily Watson.
Right.
Sean Bean.
Yeah.
Taye Diggs.
Right.
And Angus McFadden.
Right.
and Brian W. Cook. They are the main
Okay.
stars in it.
Does Sean Bean die? Because he gets killed in everything else.
I don't know.
So, right. So, what's the synopsis? Do you give us the synopsis?
I'm just about to have a look now.
Okay.
In a futuristic world,
Right.
a regime has eliminated war by suppressing emotions.
Right.
Books, arts, and music are strictly forbidden,
Okay.
and feelings is a crime punishable by death.
Yeah.
Cleric John Preston, Christian Bale, is a top-ranking government agent responsible for destroying those who resist the rules. When he misses a dose of Proxima, I'm assuming that's a medication,
Yeah.
a mind-altering
Prozac.
drug that hinders emotion, Preston, who has been trained to enforce strict laws of the new regime, suddenly becomes the one capable of overthrowing it.
Ooh. Again, I have heard good things about that. One film that I did watch, which was kind of quite similar, was Tenant. I did watch that. There was a film that came out. It stars Idris Elba, and I enjoyed it. But whether or not it was, I don't think it's got cult status yet. And whether or not it will get cult status, I don't know, because these things are kind of like really strange. It came out during the pandemic, which wasn't a great time for films in the industry anyway. But Tenant.
What Tenet?
I'm sure. Is it Idris Elba? I've probably got my actors wrong now.
I was going to say, if it's Tenet,
Yeah.
then no.
No.
It's John David Washington,
Okay.
Robert Pattinson,
What
Twilight.
am I thinking of? That is, yeah, that was the film. What Idris Elba? What was he in then? Unless it's because the guy resembles Idris Elba. Don't know.
I don't know. Sorry.
Don't know. Okay. All right. Well, for the last couple of minutes, then, should we just do the worst films of all time?
I did that by saying
Grease 2.
no. I said that when I said Barbie.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So that's it then. That's over. Barbie is the worst film of all time. The Oracle has proclaimed it. It must be true.
And I know people are going to disagree with me. I've just put in worst films of all time.
Yep.
And a 1938 film has popped up.
All right.
The Terror of a Tiny Town.
We don't want you short round here. Get off my land, boy.
Yeah, please don't.
No, I won't do the accents again.
No, I'm sorry, everyone. I try and train him, but it doesn't work.
Ghost Dog, The Way of the Samurai, 1999. Now, this is one of the underrated films. Directed by Jim Jarmusch, this cinema drama combines Eastern philosophy with urban crime elements. I mean, just the name, Ghost Dog, The Way of the Samurai. Dun, dun, dun. Still want to see the... I'm not going to say it on here because I'll probably get banned for using the word, but Something Bear. It came out earlier on in the year, and I just want to go and see it. It looks like a lot of just bloodthirsty fun, to be honest.
So, for Ghost Dogs, the actors...
Yeah.
Forrest Whitaker.
Right.
John Tormey.
Yeah.
Gene Ruffy.
Right.
RZA. They are just the three letters of his name.
Okay.
Trisha Vesey.
Yeah.
And Isaac D. Bankole.
Okay. And what's it about? It's a crime drama.
Okay. Ghost Dog, Forrest Whitaker, is a
Yep.
contract killer.
Right.
A master of his trade who can whirl a gun at warp speed and moves through this world like a phantom. Stealthy and evanescent, in the spirit of samurai, he has pledged his loyalty to a small-town mobster named Louis, John Tormey, who saved his life many years before.
Okay, great. So, out of all the films that we've kind of spoken about tonight, which one would you want to see the most? I think
Pitch Black.
Pitch Black.
Yeah, I like Pitch Black.
Okay, I was going to say the Iron Giant.
No, Pitch Black.
All right, movie night tomorrow night.
You're working.
Moving. I'm doing 3 12-hour shifts for the next 3 days. 3 12-hour shifts, well, 12.5-hour shifts, provided everything goes all right. That's all it's going to be. So, yeah. All right, then. We'll sort of movie night out then. Pitch Black, the whole trilogy.
No, have to do one a night.
Okay. Question for you: how would you rate the Pitch Black trilogy? Now, Lord of the Rings is the pinnacle of trilogies. Yeah. There will never be a trilogy of films that surpasses Lord of the Rings. So, where would you put Pitch Black, the trilogy?
I would put Pitch Black as being a very good trilogy.
Right.
I don't think, as good as the other two films are, the actual first Pitch Black, you can't beat it.
No, exactly.
I do think the other two are very good on their own and could be standalone films. If you hadn't seen the others, you could watch them.
You could,
and you wouldn't get the same information.
No,
because you hadn't seen the others, but you'd still enjoy them.
Yeah. Okay.
But there are some films that if you haven't seen the others, it just falls apart.
Yeah. No. I agree with that. I think Pitch Black, the trilogy, is good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. That's where I'm going to end the live. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for joining me. Thanks for your questions. Take care of yourselves. I'll be live again, hopefully same sort of time next Friday. So I will see you then. If you want to support the channel, and I hope that you do, just simply watch the content, comment and share. That's the best way you can do it. And it doesn't cost anything either. So, yeah, thanks for your time. And I'll be back next week. Cheers. Right.